Bentornati. Welcome back to the outpost of Muthkatakill, Mansion Pointy. We are back with our dwarves, and I have to inform you that there's been a little mishap with the backups of the saves. So I had to take back from an earlier backup, and I've done my best to reproduce the situation where we left last time, but I mean, I might have missed a couple of details. It's probably not a huge deal anyway. So where are we in Muthkatakill right now? We still have a bunch of items in the wagon. We have already started smelting some gold. We have found both gold ore and tetrahedrite in the underground. We have wood. We also had designated some more trees to be felled, but that is still waiting for somebody to get to it. We had appointed a manager, broker and bookkeeper, all things that now are assigned to our expedition leader, Kubok. One thing we didn't do, and I will do right now, is go to the settings for the bookkeeper option, for the bookkeeper station, and set up the highest precision, because otherwise he will not sit down and actually count stuff. If we look at the stocks, you can see how things like meat, there's only 4 units, and we know it because it's easy to count, but everything else needs somebody to go through the inventory and count everything up. And Kubok will hopefully start doing just that. We have our fields with plantations with seeds assigned. Then going down in the earth, we have the first cavern layer. Now in here, one thing that we absolutely have to do is strengthen our walls. We have only a wood door in here, but there we might encounter beasts in the caves that are able to actually break through the doors. So one thing that we will have to do is, while keeping a close attention to this, order the construction of a piece of masonry wall in here and then remove the door. In order to do that a little bit more safely, I have designated a pen area in here, and I have assigned our 2 dogs, so that if anything nasty comes through, hopefully the dogs will, if not take care of it, at least delay it in order to allow our dwarves to get to safety. Then going down still. This has changed. We had ordered the miners to dig out spaces for lodgings, for rooms for our dwarves. I have rearranged the disposition of the rooms. Also, if I go to the designation, you will see that I have made use of the priority system to basically ask these closer areas to be dug out first, and then, like a cascade, go to the farther in. This area up here is new, in that we didn't discuss it before. This one here will be a hospital. So you see smaller rooms. There will be a bed in each one. Probably we will start, actually, let me again make use of the priority system, because we don't need such a big hospital right from the get-go. We can limit ourselves to 4 rooms. In time we will also make traction benches and have a bed and a traction bench in every room. Up here I have designated a spot to have a well. Yes, the dwarves drink preferably alcohol, however, water is still needed. Dwarves that are confined in a hospital drink water, and water is also needed to clean wounds, which you might imagine is really important in a game such as Dwarf Fortress, where dwarves can actually die of infection. How does a well work? You need to have, you don't need to have a big room, but it's just better aesthetically, I think. What you need is a hole in the ground. That hole in the ground in here needs to go down into a reservoir. These spaces are all designated to be channeled, where channel means dug this layer and then deeper still. This layer will be dug and deeper. Also this, and you don't see anything here, but this layer will be dug out as a consequence of this designation here. Now, I need to, in order to prevent dwarves from digging under their own feet, I need to actually stop some of this from happening right away. I can do that by toggling some of this as a simple marking. Okay, now all this that you see in blue, this is just a marking. This is a blueprint, so the dwarves will not dig that. Back to the explanation. So we will have this floor with a hole in here going into a reservoir. This will all be emptied out down to this layer. Then we will need to fill that with water. We will do that with the help of our aquifer. If I go to the dig designation, you will see that many areas, even in this layer, are aquifer. So if from here we have a vertical tunnel getting up and into the aquifer, water will seep out of the stone into this vertical tunnel here, going down here, and then through this diagonal passage getting in here. Why the diagonal passage? In Dwarf Fortress, water tends to... Ciao guys, this is Listless Onion from the future. Let us ignore the silly old me from the past that is failing so hard to explain that Dwarf Fortress simulates the effects of the principle of communicating vessels. So look at this picture for a moment. Imagine this is our fortress and that we are excavating that passage deep beneath the surface to connect to a reservoir. Let's now imagine that water starts entering. The principle of communicating vessels says that the level will have to be the same in all connected parts of the fortress. This means that if there is a lot of water in a reservoir that is higher up than, for example, our dining hall, it might very well be that the water will not stop at the ideal level but will continue to rise up until it fills also our corridors and our meeting hall. Fortunately though, there's a way to stop this from occurring. However, this narrow passage breaks this mechanic, making it so that the water pressure is not transmitted, and so this will be the last layer filled with water, so water will not go further up than here, meaning that this will be empty space and the well will sit here. I hope that all makes sense. Let me remove the drawing. Alright. So I have recreated the designation to dig out spaces for the workshops and the stockpiles, and this will be our reservoir for the well. This here instead, this room will be a control room. A control room is a technique that many people use in Dwarf Fortress, and I also like, which involves having a room with all the levers. Levers are used to control different things remotely through the magic of dwarven mechanisms. So, for example, drawbridges, floodgates, bars, gates, and stuff like that. The first application we will have for that will be a drawbridge that we will use as main gate here on the surface. Not in here, we will actually have doors in here. Supposing I have doors ready to place, looks like we do. But the drawbridge will act as a main gate for our larger walls. Larger walls that I intend to build right now. So let's say we go back somewhere around here-ish, and we use willow logs for this. I want to come out, let's say, at least 20 tiles. So 10, and then another 10, and then we come back up. We leave a 3 tile space. And then we will need to close this wall all around. Now, we cannot complete this wall of willow logs yet because we need these trees felled. So let's leave that. What else can we do next? Well, we need to wait actually for some space to be dug out, so that we can start bringing stuff down below from our wagon. The wagon will sit, if we complete the wall all around, the wagon would sit outside, and so we surely want to bring everything down before we complete the wall. I can maybe set up a stockpile specifically for the goblets, because in the last one we crafted golden goblets, but for now they're just sitting, I don't know, just about everywhere. Those will be in finished goods. We don't need much space. Let's go into settings. I will enable, okay. And by type, we'll disable everything but goblets. So only goblets will be in here. Where are our goblets? They in here. Wait a second, this is before the goblets. We don't have the golden goblets yet. Alright. Actually, let me check just to be 100% sure. Let's get to enhanced view and use the search. We don't have the golden goblets. Quick. We need the goblets. Other objects, gold, goblets. Let's have three, so it's 3 goblets per craft, so let's have 9. Alright, and there we have the dwarves going around and actually tackling all these objectives. Also, I want to build this piece of wall in here, which I cannot because the door is locked. Unlock the door, the wall. A diorite wall. Can I prioritize this? Not really. Problem is, I've designated all the walls outside to build, so the dwarves will start from here. Tell you what, let's remove some of this because sealing ourselves from the caverns actually takes precedence. So let's cancel some of this. We will designate it again later. And I need to pay attention to this. Alright, done. We are effectively sealed. And I want this door to be removed so that we can use it elsewhere. Doesn't make sense to have a door that leads directly into a stone wall. And back on the surface we can replace very quickly our walls. I don't remember exactly how big it was, but let's eyeball it. Alright, good enough for now. Do we have a wood cutter available? Read. Our only woodcutter is counting, is Kubuk. Alright, let's wait for him a little bit, or maybe who's this? Limo. Detailing floors. Actually, that can wait. That can wait for a while. Combat reports? Oh yeah, there are giant bats and gorlaks in the caves, and they are battling each other. Now that I see the animals, yes, the pasture for the animals now crosses the walls. So I want to remove this and make another one in a place that makes a little bit more sense, so that we keep our animals inside the courtyard. cookbook actually started counting our stuff. As you can see, now we know exactly what we have. We have 33 drinks, we have 13 fish and seeds and so on. We know that we have 20 plump helmets for the kitchen. Now, in the kitchen we can set up for every type of items. Right now we only have plump helmets. We can give permission to use for cooking and brewing. Now, plump helmets can be eaten raw, and dwarves are quite happy to eat plump helmets raw, but they are very valuable for brewing, so I want to forbid the use in cooking. Then we might enable use of seed for cooking, but for now we only have a few seeds, so we don't want to do that. And I'm happy to see that cooking with alcohol is forbidden by default, or did I forbid it previously? I can't remember. Then we have cave fish and delicious prepared dog intestines. Yuck. Let's go and quickly take a look. Yes, the goblets. We now have the golden goblets again. Normality has been restored. Well, what else will we need? Probably more doors? Is this? Yes, this is a room. Yes, we will need more doors. So let's leverage our new manager ability to set up jobs. So let's make rock doors. Let's order 12. Then we will need some beds for the actual rooms and also for the hospital. Let's have 6 for now. Are the dwarves mining? Slowly but surely. I want to start moving the workshop that are here outside, like the smelter and the wood furnace. I want to move them down here in the workshop level. Actually, before doing that, as you are probably sick of seeing me like scrolling all the levels quickly like this, I should use the hotkey ability. And so we already have F1 as the ground level. We might want to do F2 as a hotkey to zoom in here and name it as farms. Then this level here, we can do F3, zoom in here and change name as the holes. And in here, this will be F4, and the name is workshops, or works for short. Works for short, not for shorts. We don't want to wear workshops for shorts. Maybe. Stocks. All right. So let's build a wood furnace. Let's do here. I may have a carpenter on the other side. Yes. Can I start building some of the doors? No, we don't have doors yet. Another thing, I might order the construction of our wooden bins. Bins help with the small stuff, with stockpiling the small stuff, where normally you would have one item per tile. Bins sit in one tile but can collect 10 items inside. So we can make wooden bin. We can make 6 for now. And that will help, for example, in here for the goblet stockpile. So in here we are safe. Trees are being felled in here, so I can resume setting up the walls. Let's leave a 3 wide space. All right, now this space here will house a retracting bridge. Actually not a retracting bridge, but a how do you say, a bridge that can be raised. So this one will be raised from the left to right. If you look at here, I can set up the direction I want the bridge to be raised. So this will be constructed as a structure that lays on the floor, and this could also span across a moat if we had one. But right now it will just sit on the ground. If we connect it to a lever through mechanisms, then we will be able to flip the lever and raise it. It means that at that point it would count as a wall and close effectively this wall all around us. I haven't built it though, so again, 3 tall, 2 wide, raises to the right. Build it in here, and again make it out of willow logs. Of course, in order to complete all of that, we will need rock mechanisms. So we need to go down in the workshops and set up an area for masonry and mechanics. So Mason's workshop looks like this, mechanic looks like this. So I could actually go in here. All right. Do we have doors? Not yet. Doors are busy constructing. Let's keep an eye on the stocks. We still have 31 drinks. Before we close this little gap in here, I want to make sure to move downstairs all the stuff that is in the wagon. Some migrants have arrived. Where are they? Down here? Yes. Let's see. A couple of dwarves and a chicken. Let's take a look at them in Dwarf Therapist. We are having a High Master Fisher Dwarf and a High Master Wax Worker. I'm sorry, Keycrossed. We don't have any wax in here, so I guess you will be a farmer helper? Like this, and maybe do also animal care and gelding. But I'm thinking that the High Master Fisherman we might actually employ. Even though we need to keep an eye on him, because he might just make or collect so much fish to effectively clog our outpost, our fortress with fish. Have I set up a zone to collect refuse? I don't think so, actually. Let's do that. It will be inside the walls, but as long as it is exposed to the air, we won't see clouds of miasma. Where are the miners? I want to temporarily use some of these corridors as storage. I want to store furniture in here while we wait for the proper spaces, just so that we start freeing the wagon. And in here I might put a stockpile for clothes and leather.